Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Onikaru. And you join me today as I'm actually on the precipice and at the beginning of starting three new challenges, adventures, certainly hobbies that I'm looking to undertake. To start it off, what will they be? What can you expect to see on this channel? Well, the three areas I'm looking at, or the first one I would say I was starting with, was streaming on Twitch. Primarily that will be around video games. That's what I like to do with my spare time. MMOs a lot, and certainly other various genres. So I'll be looking at streaming, but I'm also looking at exercise and running, something that I've recently started, something that I want to include as part of my lifestyle and hobby, and the journey there. And finally, actually, creating content and posting videos on YouTube as well. So three different topics that I'm going to be looking to cover. Now, why am I looking to cover these? First and foremost, streaming on Twitch. This is something I actually started last year, maybe September, October time, maybe a tad before. I did it for about 3 months, and then I stopped. And the reason I stopped is I actually had the birth of my daughter in January this year, and I thought probably best to give it a break while I have zero sleep and even less personal time to myself. So I wanted to stop. However, during the time that I did stream, it was a short period of time, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't have a large following, maybe about 20, 30 followers. And actively at any time, I think I had highs of five viewers, but on average, maybe 2 viewers a time. However, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing the games that I wanted to play. I enjoyed interacting with people coming along with the journey on stories with me. And I found it really fun. And it's something that I had in my mind when I stopped that I'd want to pick up again. However, what I have found is when you're looking at streaming, where to start as someone new, it takes time, takes understanding. There's a lot of moments where I found myself muted, and luckily had some really cool people in chat that would let me know fairly soon. Certainly not so when I started with 0 viewers and found I'd recorded an entire session on mute. But there's little things like that that get you quite quickly early on. What tools to use in terms of the likes of OBS, Twitch Studio, etc. And I've changed over time there as well. And there's various different challenges that happen. Now, the same can be said in these other hobbies or areas I'm looking to pick up. The second one being running. Now, as I've mentioned, I'm a gamer. I obviously spend a lot of time in my sofa gaming or in my chair here at my desk. And that results in a lot of time spent being inactive, which I have no problem with in itself. But I found, even though I'm not necessarily appear out of shape, I'm not particularly large, I'm not particularly skinny, I'm probably somewhere in the middle-ish, but I certainly have very little in the way of stamina when I do want to do something. So I don't do many sports and things, but I used to enjoy football when I was younger. I certainly played a lot of tennis, swimming, and if I go to do any of those things now, even if it's when you're on vacation, holiday, and you get a chance to go swimming in a pool, I'm out of breath quite quickly, and that's something I'm not enjoying. So I want to change that as well. But again, I've hurt myself maybe 2 weeks into running now, maybe 3 weeks, and I've hurt my knees pretty bad. So I'm learning lessons there as well. And the whole point of this channel will be, of course, uploading content that I've been enjoying doing and sharing that. But actually, more importantly for me, and the reason I'm looking at YouTube as my third hobby, is I want to share, particularly on all these 3 areas, maybe quick learnings from my experience. People learn by making mistakes. I've made a lot already, and I'm thinking it might be worthwhile to actually share that for those that are maybe looking to start in any of these particular areas. It's certainly something I could have done with, because there's a lot of content creators out there. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise. And I've actually done some research, and I'll share some people that I've looked at as well in these areas. And some of what is said is really super useful. Some of it is less so, because it's maybe at the more advanced end of the scale, and trying to discern what you should be doing at the beginning of these journeys, I found really difficult. And I think it's something that I might be able to hopefully help. And it's certainly going to help me, even just from documenting and taking a kind of look at myself as we go through this journey as well. So what are we going to be looking at in particular? Going through these particular topics, what are we going to be looking at and focusing on for me in this journey? I will keep these 3 topics as well separate, bar this introductory video, but I think it's useful to kind of highlight in today what I'm going to be looking at overall, and there'll be separate videos based on each of these topics in particular. So Twitch, what do you need to be able to set up? So I'm going to be talking around that, talking about the research I've done, probably too much research. This is, again, something I'm looking to really share, the ability for you guys, if you want to do some of these things, to be able to go and do it quicker. I spent a number of weeks certainly researching and agonizing over what to do, and that can be simple things like software, what you're going to use alongside Twitch to be able to stream. Again, I've used a few different tools now, and certainly have a preference already, and I'll share that. Hardware, in terms of cameras, lighting, do you even need it? Should you? Microphone, what I've found there as well, and again, it's been a real rapid journey there of what I've been finding. I started off with my gaming headset to do all of it, right? When I was streaming last year, had my gaming headset, had my mic on there, but there's even challenges with that, and something that getting a separate mic, something I'll share about why that's already helped me. So there's a whole areas of Twitch streaming, what's gone well, what's not, interaction with audience members as well, and actually let's not forget not focusing too much on that. I did when I first started streaming, and maybe over engaged, I would say, on some people, and as soon as they'd be on, they'd be off because I was maybe a little too keen, let's say, and focus more on how's my stream going than am I enjoying my games. That changed for me at one point, and I started to get a little bit more traction, but again, I'm very much at the beginning of that journey, so we'll see how that goes in time. Second one is running, exercise essentially. Now I'm starting up a number of pieces around here. First one is I'm playing tennis. I'm doing that once a week at the moment with one of my best friends, who he probably won't mind me saying. I won't name him anyway, but he's a little out of shape as I am in that regard. And we're doing that as a way of locking in and having a commitment to each other to be able to go do some activities. We do a couple of hours once a week after work, so that's pretty cool. Running is something I particularly want to do because one day I want to be able to run with my kids and stuff, and at the moment it'll be a 2-second run and a very much longer amble, and probably not much fun. So I want to be able to do that on a personal level for kind of family, I guess, and just having some stamina. But again, I'm in a position today where I'm actually I'm supposed to be doing my next run tomorrow, and I can't because I've damaged my knees. I'll talk about that in future videos and how to maybe avoid that, what I've already learned, and really hopefully make it the best way I can for you. Something else is I've done probably the least research in all these areas on the running side, and that's something I'm going to change and report back in future videos as well. And the third one, of course, is YouTube, where you found me today. Now, I didn't really give much thought to the YouTube side, if I'm honest. YouTube isn't necessarily something I would thought would be an enjoyable hobby as such, mostly because I didn't have too much interest, not because I knew a great deal about it. What I was focusing on is I wanted to do some exercise and I wanted to play games and engage with the community, so Twitch. But actually, when I came to think about it, I'd really like to be able to share some of these experiences because a lot of the research is taking time and be able to kind of, give quick tips. What I found very quickly was what's the best format? It's going to be YouTube. It's consumable. It's historic. It can be looked back on to be able to track a journey, see what happened at the beginning and such, and hopefully an easier tool for people to be able to use should they wish to. And there began another journey because this is the first video that's up today. But at the time of recording this, right now, as I'm speaking, I have not uploaded a YouTube video before. I've maybe done one from my PlayStation straight to there because I have a linked account, but not really anything like this in terms of editing a video. I've not done anything around that. Creating thumbnails, I've not done that before. I'm not creative in that aspect. It's something I'm going to have to learn, something I'm going to have to get advice, get tips, get feedback on. I'm sure, something I have seen on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I haven't, created. So something I see is there's a lot of comments. So I'm sure there'll be some constructive and maybe not so many comments that come back, and actually taking and learning from all of them. And that's what I'll be looking to share as well. There's actually another element to this as well, because I'm sharing the content because I think it could be useful. The Twitch thing I'm doing because I enjoy it and I think it'll be fun. But actually, the content's only useful if people are able to see it and find it as well. So I've been putting some thought to around social media, and I'll be honest, I'm not a big social media person either. I have LinkedIn for work. I have, Twitter that I kind of engage. I really read more than I guess contribute, and that's something I'm going to look to change. But I don't use any other real social media platforms. Facebook very rarely and not really much at all. Instagram I don't even have yet. That'll be probably one of the things I'm doing in the next few days. and all these other areas. So I'm going to be actually taking a journey of using social media to hopefully give this some reach if people are looking for it, giving the ability to find the content. And that'll be interesting in itself. But more than anything, as I say, the thing I think I enjoy most of all, particularly from the Twitch aspect, which I think hopefully could come from the YouTube as well, is the interaction. I like interacting with communities. As I mentioned, I'm an MMO player. Final Fantasy is my MMO of choice, but I'm an MMO player, so I like community. I like engaging with people that I wouldn't meet otherwise. So I think the social media might be a really good way for that to happen if anyone wanted to reach out, and certainly for me to be able to do the same as well. So that's really it for today's kind of video. That's all I was looking to cover today. It's really just a form of an introduction of what you could expect from this channel. I'll be doing from now on split out videos on these topics. And of course I'll be looking to add, some of the stream content here as well. And that's what we're going to be looking to do. So if you've joined me today, thank you. It's great to see someone being able to view the video. Let me know if there's anything in here that interests you, something you want me to look at in any of these areas, advice, links. I'm open to kind of all that interaction. But if it's something that interests you and you'd like to hear more about as well, let me know. It's something I may not have thought about and is worth investigating and researching myself at the very least. And if it's something I have already touched on, hopefully it's something I can give back in return to your kind of comments and interaction in that respect. So thank you. That's me for today. Onikaru, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.